What's going on, guys? My name's Cam Bennett, aka the Baseball Bro. I'm here with my dudes Hunter and Ethan, and this is Two Dudes and a Bro.
3 innings in a row where every out has been a strikeout. Episode 2. First episode, great success.
Yeah.
We got good feedback, flowed well.
Got the dust off.
Yeah, dust is off, and now we are smooth sailing into episode 2. How you guys doing? How are my dudes doing?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Good. Running a little slow. St. Patty's Day was the other day, so we all know how that is. We all been there on Monday.
I'm still going, man. Did you see this or what?
No days off.
Yeah, man. I got the Clover hat, and then Patty's Pub. All my Sunny fans out there, you know what's up.
Are you Irish?
Of course, man. Yeah, a little Irish, a little everything,
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about our bold predictions of 2019. These aren't the ones that you see on MLB Network or ESPN or whatever. These are the ones that, whether it's based on gut feelings or maybe stats that you could see fluctuating a little bit more.
Yeah,
we can see it happening.
We're fans just like you at home. We're not those MLB pundits that just throw it out. We do it with our gut.
Yeah,
we make decisions with our gut, with our heart.
We're not here, baby.
We're not throwing numbers in the shredder, I guess, and like the MLB Network.
Yeah, they don't have their grunts pull up cool stats for them. We're the whole package. We're doing pulling the numbers, talking the show. It is what it is.
And then we're probably going to disagree. I'm not going to lie. All right, we're probably going to disagree.
Definitely.
So, Hunter, I want you to start with your first bold prediction.
First bold prediction. Here we go. The Cardinals are going to win the most games in the National League.
Oh.
And I think they come close to 100.
It's false. It's no way.
I think absolutely. I think
No.
I think Ozuna is going to have an incredible year. I think he's going to have 30 home runs, like his breakout year.
Okay.
I think he's back there. I think the addition to Goldschmidt puts them over the top. He's so underrated. He is so good, and I think their pitching has finally kind of come to and developed. They might have to make a trade at the deadline for another guy.
Definitely. They need another ace.
Yeah, another workhorse.
Mm-hmm.
But they're right there, and I think they can make the jump and win the most games in the NL. Close to 100.
The Cardinals are going to be a sneaky good team this year. I agree with you. Most wins in the National League, though, it's going to be tough. The Dodgers are built for the regular season. We got the depth. We got the deeper lineup than the Cardinals. But I do agree. The Cardinals are going to be sneaky good this year.
When you put the formula together for the Cardinals to have like the best record in the NL, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I could see it happening. However, they're going to have to be playing the Cubs, the Brewers, the Reds that are like the new look Reds. That is a tough division,
but you can't count the Cardinals out. They've been out of it for maybe a year or two, or maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
They're so competitive. I think they're with their fan base and their management, and their front office. They're going to put together a winning ball team.
And don't forget Matt Carpenter.
Oh,
leading
also,
off.
Yeah. Had a huge year last year.
Led that team to like almost the playoffs last year.
And Ozuna's not going to have the year he had last year. He's going to be much better.
Fine. On Ozuna, because he was on my team last year. Took him way too early, but he had a bad.
Would you take him this year?
Oh, regrets.
Yeah, he had a bad elbow or something last year that nagged him all year. I think he's finally over.
Not the disabled list, but this year he's going to be on the.
It's like the injured list.
Injured list.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
more DL. Bye.
Jeez. Okay, just rip my soul out too. Why don't you?
Yeah, now it's like the IL. I don't know how that sounds.
Yeah,
it doesn't flow off like DL.
Does not. Yeah.
Your boy's on the DL.
Yeah,
no, your boy's on the IL. I don't know.
It's like you have to say it in like a different tone of voice, like higher pitch. Your boy's on the IL today.
Well, I mean, I'm hurt. I'm not injured. But...
All right, Ethan. Bold prediction. Go.
I'm actually gonna build off Crawdaddy a little bit there. I'm going the Brew Crew are missing the playoffs this year.
Ooh.
They went to
Crew. Okay.
They went to Game 7 of the NLCS last year, 1 game away from the World Series, and this year they're gonna just not even make the show. It's kind of building off Hunter's point, but just the NL itself is so loaded this year. You have the Cardinals and Cubs, who I think will finish 1-2 in that division. In the East, you have 3 teams. The Braves, Phillies, and the Nats are still going to be good. They have the pitching. So that's 5 teams right there. Then you have the Dodgers. Don't sleep on the Rockies. Where are the Brewers? They had such a big year last year. Yelich had his MVP year. I don't think he's going to have that big of a year again. And they relied on their bullpen all year. I think they'll tire out a little bit.
But, how many young starters do they have? They just have so many top-of-the-line young guys that are just coming into their...
Yes, but I think it's going to be tough for them to keep that mojo going for the whole second year, especially when you're in that division, like Cam said earlier, and when you got so many good NL teams that are vying for playoff positions.
It's going to be competitive, no question about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, I think the Brewers, out of all those teams you mentioned, are probably in the top 2 strongest. I think, if anything, the Cubs are going to miss the playoffs this year.
The thing I like about the Cubs, they have one of the nastiest rotations in the National League.
I mean,
they go 5 deep.
It's underrated. It's an underrated rotation. Deep. And Darvish, is back. And he's pissed off. He's going to want to have a good year.
He's just tweeting all this stuff, is just growing his arm strength and the curveball velocity rotation thing. I'm still bitter that he straight up blew the Game 7 for the Dodgers. So I will never draft Darvish on my team.
And then for everyone that didn't hear it, the next year when he got traded to the Cubs, how he fired back and said the only reason I want to play baseball and be good is to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty bold coming just from the Cubs,
Coming from a guy who just straight up lost us the World Series, Game 7, Couldn't even get through how many innings?
And it's been 2 years now.
Sign him. Bye you.
Bye.
We don't want that.
Bye. Yeah, we don't need him. All right. My bold prediction. I think that the Twins are going to be taking the AL Central this year.
You think they're going to
No longer the Cleveland Indians will have a reign in that division.
Their reign is done?
The reign is over. Bye-bye. Twins are new. Twins are in the playoffs. Cleveland Indians miss it. And here's my explanation.
Okay. I was going to say, why did the Twins make that jump this year?
The Twins, not only did they do some work in the offseason, but they have all of the pieces to become not only a good team, but like an excellent team. You have Jonathan Scope, who is literally like seconds away from returning to form.
30 home run. Yeah.
100 RBI, 290 batting average that he had like 2 years ago. Byron Buxton, who was like the #1 prospect in baseball for, it seems like decades.
He's due. He's got to break out.
One of these days,
this is his year.
Always hearing about him.
Every year we draft him and go, well, I got him. This is his year, no doubt.
Yeah. Then you got Jorge Polanco, their shortstop, who got busted for roids, but even then, like, comes back and does pretty well, you know? Then you have Max Kepler, who I like as a player.
They just locked up.
Yeah, they just locked him up. You know, he's going to have something to fight for this year with the new team around him. You have Sano, who is also one of those guys like Buxton. I think he's hurt right now, so I don't know if he'll be...
He's coming back.
Is he coming back?
I think he's probably going to be done like a month, I want to say.
Yeah, it'll be fine for like the whole season. He might be out in the early stages.
And then not to mention Jose Barrios, who's a bona fide ace.
Solidified.
Absolute
like
ace.
he's got to be up there in fantasy rankings and discussions for AL Cy Young next year.
And Pineda's back too.
Yeah, don't sleep on a healthy Pineda.
Yeah.
He was good for the Yankees 2 years ago.
And the old vet, who else? Kyle Gibson. They got some guys in their rotation.
They honestly, they were a playoff team. If you remember, they were a playoff team like a couple years ago.
Yes.
And I don't see any difference between this team now and that team before then.
Yeah. And also, let me rattle off the starting Indians outfield right now. Jake Bowers, Leonis Martin, and Cargo, who they just picked up off the waiver wire.
Who's injured every other week.
Yeah.
And that's brutal.
So the Indians are, I mean, they have obviously that 5 spot of the rotation. They can go 5 deep. Mm-hmm. But they're 1 to 2 injuries away from a starting pitcher of them just being like a completely average team.
And Lindor has the strain. What is the calf or hammy strain?
The calf right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, how many good seasons is Jose Ramirez going to be putting up?
And Kluber's getting old. He might get traded this year. We'll see how the Indians fare. I don't know. I think it's a good prediction.
It'll be a close race, for sure. I think it'll be much closer than years past.
Yeah. All right, Hunter. Second.
Okay. So, the Red Sox, the AL East, we all have to talk about it. They finish 3rd in their division and win 90 games. 90-plus games and still finish 3rd.
Stop.
I think... There's not a question mark. I think the Yankees win this division. I think they've acquired, the pieces in the bullpen. a DJ at second. They've got, even more pieces than they had last year. And I think the Rays make that jump. And they sneak in at second, and they win probably 94, 95 games.
I've been saying this since last year.
And the Red Sox have a great year. They do.
I always say it.
That's the competitive
Don't
division.
sleep on the... Everyone's always discounting the Red Sox because of this, because of that. Oh, they lost Kimbrel. Oh, Mookie Betts isn't going to repeat a good year.
World Series hangover. That's all I'm saying. World Series hangover, and they're going to have a good year. 90-plus wins is a nice year, but they're going to finish third in the AL East. Mark it down.
That means that the Rays would have to win 95.
Yeah, I'm putting them about 93, 94 games.
That's way too high. The Rays will be sneaky good, but
they just got better.
95 wins from the
93,
Rays.
94, and I put the Red Sox at about 90. They're going to regress a little bit.
I think the Red Sox can sleep their way to 90 wins. They're so good.
They're so good, dude.
So
They were cruise control until 100 last year. They stopped playing. The last quarter of the season, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. They're the defending champs.
I will say,
that's just my bold prediction.
If you remember last year, after the Dodgers World Series run, they used up all their pitching depth that run, which is kind of what the Red Sox did with Evaldi and all these guys. They used them till they were dry.
Shot. The Red Sox bullpen is shot.
The next year, the Dodgers in the first month couldn't win a game. It took them a while, so maybe it takes the Red Sox a while to get going. They used up a lot of guys, but
I also think that was accredited to Justin Turner not being in the lineup, and there's a lot of mojo that was lost. Corey Seager battling with the injury.
We're living in the past, boys.
It is, yeah. I think that had to do with more things than just the World Series run. But okay, Ethan, second bold prediction.
All right, I'm gonna hop on the hype, the Lewis Brinson hype. The 2 years too late hype.
2 years too late.
Yeah.
190. Got to hit 200 first.
Yeah. He hasn't broken 200 yet, but this is the year that he finally breaks 200. You could probably scoop him up really late in your fantasy drafts because people probably forgot of him, but he's a 5-tool player. He's got speed, power, at least in the minor leagues he had this. And it's the Marlins are in a position where they can just afford to get him ABs, play him every day in center field. He's having an absolute monster spring, which means nothing, but let me rattle this. He's batting over 300. He's got over 1,000 OPS this spring training. I think he's going to finally... he got traded last year. It was his first year with the Marlins. Maybe that was his first trade in his career. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable. I think his second year with the Marlins, he'll be able to pick it up.
There shouldn't be a lot of pressure on him. The Marlins aren't projected to do anything this year.
So I think he's worth maybe a late ad. I think... Bold prediction, he breaks out. This is the year he breaks out. Maybe 20-plus home runs. Come on, Louis.
What do you think of 2020?
I think 2020 is possible. He's got the speed. 2020
is kind of... I think I can see a 2020.
You don't lose speed. It's just, can he hit the 20 bombs? I think he can.
Coming from a bitter Lewis Brinson Rookie of the Year prediction last year, I mean, I don't want to say I agree with you. But, I mean, looking at it from a person... sitting in my position last year, I could definitely see him having that potential. Yeah, I mean, he's built like it,
Just a year too late.
Yeah, I mean, just a year late. Shoot. All right. My last prediction. This is probably the boldest of them all.
Oh, I don't know.
I said this last year, and I was right.
Bro.
Everyone said I was crazy about Christian Yelich winning MVP. I said he'd finish top 3 in MVP votes, possibly even win it. You know who my second guess is this year in the NL? Yes.
I'm going to guess.
It's not Nolan, because I said Nolan was the easy pick, but Christian Yelich is the sleeper MVP pick.
I'll say Paul Goldschmidt. That's my guess that you're going to say.
Wrong.
Wrong? That's what I was going to say. I'll go Chris Bryant.
Wrong. Michael Conforto.
Wow.
On the Mets.
Conforto.
Explain it, Cameron. Okay, I will. Michael Conforto. 4 years he's been playing with an impinged shoulder. 4 years, though. And he's still retained a starting spot. He's still doing pretty good, But 4 years ago, remember, that's when the Mets had, the playoff run, and everyone was hot on him. Everyone was hot on him. So, when he was healthy, everyone was hot on him, thought he was the future of the club. But he was playing through an injury for 4 years, and that's why nothing ever happened. Has surgery, comes back last year, second half of the season, hottest hitter in the MLB.
That's pretty
career
bold.
leader.
The Mets have to be making moves for him to
team leader in everything in the Mets organization. Now, what did the Mets do in the offseason? They built a lineup around him pretty much with Robinson Cano, with all these dudes, with Peter Alonso over at first, and then you got Brandon Nimmo out there in right field.
The Todd father.
Is he still on the team?
He's still alive.
He's still alive. But he's injured. He's out. Okay. So, now, Conforto is in his prime. He's 27, 28, right? He's playing on a Mets team that I think actually might be really sneaky good. I wasn't a big believer in the Mets team at first in the beginning.
With that pitching staff.
Because of that. Because he's like, you think, I don't know, like the Mets couldn't win a game last year. Like, what makes you think they're going to win a game this year? I think that now that all the pressure is off them because of their pitching staff and they're like, you know, how like they used to have all 4 of their starters at the poker table because of like the best rotation in the league and stuff like that. No one's really thinking about them anymore. But they have the talent. Their division is difficult, but if they find a way to climb over the standings in front of the Phillies and in front of the Braves, who I think would be their biggest two in that division, Michael Conforto will be the player that does it for
that
him.
it happens.
Yeah,
and Michael Conforto will be the MVP.
That's the key. It's all about how the Mets. It's all about how the Mets finish, because you're not going to get an MVP for a team that doesn't make the playoffs.
No.
The Mets will have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Unless your name is Michael Trout, then that's the only way.
Sir Michael Trout.
Sir.
But yeah, so because the Mets are a trap, because every year you think they have the pitching, they have the aces. Like, why not this year?
Every year,
and then every year the same thing happens.
Let you down.
So I do like the individual players of the Mets. I just can't fall into that trap.
But here's the thing: they have the bullpen now. They have Familia. They have Diaz. Come on, man. There's no place like the Mets.
That's true. I'm repping my boys.
I think
maybe I have to get on the hype.
I think I should hop on.
No. But yeah, that's my bold prediction.
That's pretty bold.
Last bold prediction.
Definitely bold.
So yeah, don't quote us if we're wrong on these guys. I'm just kidding.
Only if we're right.
Only if we're right.
Hit us up if we're right.
That's good, man. I like your guys' bold predictions. They're like, they make sense. They make logical sense. Yeah. I hate talking to people who are like super fans, and there's one that I'm not going to name.
Star weary and just...
Yeah, like Shohei Ohtani's going to hit 40 home runs. Oh my gosh, just an angel.
Like, it'd be nice. It'd be fun to watch. Yeah. But it's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, dude. No universe. Okay.
Except for maybe 2 years. Bold prediction.
Cool. Let's move on now. All right. Our next category is our fantasy league that I want to talk about.
Our bread and butter.
Our bread and butter.
That's why I get up every morning.
Oh, actually, before that, I remember. That's why I had a little brain fart. I want to answer a user question on our video. So one of you guys wants to know a little bit more about that AJ Pollock situation that we talked about. We briefly glossed over last. Hunter, I want you, maybe you could take the reins on this.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. It was a dark, stormy evening. Just AJ and I in a dark alley. So we were in the clubhouse when we were doing our interviews with the players.
This is for the Triples Alley episode.
And I see AJ. I was like, that'd be a great interview. New addition to the Dodgers. Savvy veteran, potential to be a
Arizona
player.
guy.
Yeah, he's the new guy in the clubhouse. You think he'll be receptive?
And he's like, so we asked him to do an interview, and it was nice of him to say, yeah, I'll do an interview, but he was kind of like, yeah, all right, got out of his slowly, and we're like, okay, respectful. Sure. And then we kind of got into the questions. You warned him. You're like, hey, you're going to be some simple questions the fans want to know.
I was just saying, like, I'm a YouTuber, So I'm not part of a network. I'm just gonna have I'm just gonna ask you fun, easy to answer questions, like
favorite baseball movie,
stuff like that. I didn't actually ask them the questions. I wanted them to think of it on the spot for the most authentic answer. Yeah. I didn't want everything to be a surprise too. So
we're going good. We're starting it out. Cameron asked the first question, and he just kind of looks at you, and he's just like goes into a deep silence off. It's just pissed off. They're like, how dare he get asked that question? It's a
Do you know who I am? AJ. This is AJ you're talking to.
Simple question. And then Cameron, you hit him with another simple one.
He just wasn't having it.
Oh, there was just no chemistry there. And he was just like, oh, well, he's like, I don't know, man.
After the first...
I guess I wish I could fly. And he's like, He's like, these are like green screen type questions. He's just like so disappointed. We thought we were gonna ask him like, who was your biggest inspiration in the third grade when
those
you made
are boring interviews too.
I know. We just wanted to lighten the load and go through, and he just gave us a tough time.
I thought it'd be refreshing for him to like hear different questions. Like I'm sure like he gets tired about talking about like
how you feeling?
What do you feel healthy? Like, are you ready to get back out there?
Yeah,
How's it playing for the Dodgers? Oh, it's great. Blah blah blah.
He kind of went into like robot mode when he was like ready for the usual questions, and we just caught him off guard, and he was just really pretty rude, which is fine. I mean, he's an old veteran. Like, do what you want.
I understand it. If you're like 32 and some 20-something kid comes up to you in a like a I had like an Iron logo.
I was sweating through my shirt, holding the camera. We're nervous to meet some of these guys, but
we have like a little tiny camera, and I have like a little Rode video mic thing that was like a microphone. I was trying to get started and all that.
Maybe we just caught him on a bad day.
Yeah, we caught him on a bad day, and I think we also learned that the younger players are more receptive to doing interviews,
like
just because they've done much less of them, and then the older veterans are like, all right, unless it's like Alana Rizzo or someone big name interviewing, they really don't want to do it.
Yeah, they don't care. So that's pretty much that story. But don't hate AJ for that. Just if he sucks on the Dodgers, you hate him for sucking on the Dodgers. How about that?
Do we wish him well? Sure.
Yes.
We wish he wasn't a dick. Yeah.
We can. You know what we'll do? We'll set up a second interview. Maybe he'll show better.
Yeah.
Get him on a better day.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him on a better day. We'll see. AJ, how about you reach out to my people? I'll reach out to your people. We'll set something up.
and then remember the third question he refused to answer. Just to hop back in real quick, I just remembered. And then I was like, oh, God. I was like, 0 for 3. I said that out loud, holding the camera. I was like, oh, God. I was like, this is not going well. I was like, abort.
That video will never see the light of day.
Yeah,
I don't care how
surface.
much you guys want to see that. That is, like, not going anywhere.
And then when you finished that, we just kind of looked at each other like, faces red, beads of sweat dripping down. We're like, so do you want to get out of here? Or?
I remember that after the first question, I was like, I should just stop it now. I just walk away.
We were walking into a trap.
I had too much pride,
boys.
Man.
It was a sand trap, and we walked right into it. I was, almost on us.
I had too much pride. I needed to continue. I was like, I got questions I need to ask and need answers for.
But let's hop into our fantasy.
Yeah, let's hop into our fantasy. So, if you guys are following me on Instagram, I've been posting like stuff about this other fantasy league I've been doing with Instagram baseball people. This fantasy league is not that one. This one is the OG with the guys, day one guys, high school. This has been going on for 9 years,
Catch partner.
Catch partners, dude, like high school teammates, and then like a collectively over time.
Commissioner
here. Yeah. We have our inside jokes. We have our, there's bad blood, there's good blood, there's alliances, there's memories. There's that one time back when I drafted Matt Kemp #1 overall because he went almost the MVP season and he flopped for me kind of stories.
Yeah, we live in the past? Absolutely.
All the time.
Is that okay? Yeah, we have a blast doing it.
We have a Yankee fan in our league that always talks about how many rings he wins because he won like 2,
Speaking of rings, there's one person on this pod that doesn't have a ring in our league, and I don't want to point fingers, but...
You know what? Craw Daddy has seen some down years. I haven't liked my draft position, and I've been in the playoffs pretty much every year, guys. Let's not freak you out. I'm not sitting at the bottom of the division. I'm right there. I won regular season champion last year.
Let's just say you want to get your fantasy advice from this side.
Absolutely not. Do you want to get your fantasy from these guys nicknamed the Commissioner or Craw Daddy?
If you want to know how to win first place in the regular season,
he's your guy.
Talk to this guy right here. But if you want to know how to take your team to the ship,
what if you?
I'm one. Even.
I don't want to talk about last match.
Oh no,
that's for another time.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up.
For another time.
That's for another time.
We got a timeline.
We have history. Yeah, we're almost out of time. But yeah, let's talk about this year. We already drafted. I have a nice team. It's so nice. And let's preface this league for you real quick. It's a scout's wet dream. It's home runs.
More or less.
stolen bases, wins, and strikeouts get you points, pretty much. Yeah,
that's it. I think one of the good things about our league is it's not the category league.
It's not head-to-head stat.
Yeah,
category.
it's points. It's kind of like fantasy football. So you get points for home runs and all these different stats, and at the end of the week, you match up, and whoever has the most points wins. I like that a lot better than categories. So if you're starting a league, try and go the points route.
It's just way more fun.
Yeah.
Like we've all done, head-to-head and all the roto, the different types of leagues, 10, 12.
I didn't like it. It's like,
we're also 14-team leagues, so everyone knows their stuff in our league.
And it doesn't draft like anything else. Like, like Aaron Nola's getting drafted in like the 7th round.
I drafted Clay Buchholz as my Mr. Irrelevant. Like, I'm just saying.
So, I mean, how much time do we have left, Hunter?
About,
a couple seconds, a couple minutes.
Oh, like a minute.
You want to? Yeah, let's just briefly touch on each other's teams. What's the highlight of your team? Who's the guy that's going to take you to the ship this year?
You mean Crawdaddy?
Yeah,
Crawdaddy. Bring home his first title.
I mean, if
this could be the year,
maybe
this one will be me soon enough.
Oh no,
soon enough, guys. I think Mike Trout. I got the number 2 overall pick, and number 1, our boy Freddie. He picked Mookie Betts. So Trout voted me. I'm happy he's going to carry me. And David Dahl is another one drafted like 5th round, and I think he's going to break out.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit previously. I went Haniger round 4. The reason I'm bringing this up is he's hitting bombs in Japan right now.
Mitch
He's getting me hyped. If you haven't checked it out, there's this view of the catcher's mitt of Haniger's home run. It's the sickest video I've ever seen. Also, I'm stoked. I went Lindor round 1. I kind of reached. I'm hoping for him to.
He was on my team last year. Brought me a regular season title.
I'm hoping for him to have the same kind of year as last year. But we'll see. That one I'm a little nervous about. But I didn't like my spot. I was pick 6. I kind of got caught in between.
Oh, that's a rough one.
The top level and the bottom tier guys. So,
but respect for the commissioner for not refreshing it and setting his own draft lineup.
Yeah,
integrity.
I'm sure he's done in the past.
Integrity is key. Yeah, we have scandals and everything.
As you know, commissioner he's never abused his power before.
And as assistant to the commissioner, I am here to serve.
There's one instance where I might have to refute you on that one. We'll get into that later.
We'll leave that later.
For me, obviously, I'm big on Conforto. Got him like in the top
Arguably
100.
Obsessed.
Yeah, like borderline. I think he'll be the next Yelich. And who drafted Yelich last year? This guy right here.
Who grew him on his fantasy team growing up?
For the 2 straight years.
Just a year too late, buddy. It's a year too late. I got the Conforto Cano duo.
And who's your big gun?
My big gun, Trey Turner and Aaron Judge.
Okay, those are
Trey
boys.
Turner, yeah. I was the 14th pick, so I went back to back. I got Aaron Judge, fell all the way down to 14th, and Trey Turner went to 15th.
I mean, Judge has the ability to hit like 60 home runs.
Andrew Crowell, I feel like one of them is going to hit 60.
And in our league, like Judge is going to hit like 60 home runs, and then Trey Turner is going to steal like 60 bags. I can see both those things happening, and those are big points in our league. So I'm really hoping on them staying healthy the whole year and putting up big points for me, or else I'm kind of screwed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boys back home that are watching this in our league.
Yeah, and keep coming with the questions, guys. If you want to know even more about AJ, probably not going to tell you.
Yeah, that's probably enough. Yeah,
but we got some good details about Kirsch and all those guys. So if you have any questions, shoot us some info.
Yeah, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. You know where to find it. Also, forgot to plug this in the beginning. Go check out my Triples Alley episode. Obviously, this video is sponsored by my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, go subscribe over there. It's a more high-paced cut clip show that I do, and you know the deal.
Check this bro out, guys. If you're not, you're missing out.
All right, all the links are in the description if you want to check out any of that stuff. Catch you guys later. Anything else? Final words, thoughts?
Baseball's back this week.
Ooh.
Who's staying up? I know Crawdaddy is.
2 a.m. Pacific time. I'll be up.
Set those alarms, baby. If you have fantasy, guys, you better be checking.
Yes, sir. Have a good week, guys.
See you later.
Young and dumb, thought you were the one. Running through my mind, got me on some. Every single night in my feelings. Got my feelings all started healing. Now I know I'm better off. Take your lies and put them in a cup.